Hello everyone, very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In our today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, we will be considering a interesting pattern recognition. The name is long line candle, and as from the name you can make a sense that this is going to be a pattern in which we are likely to see a very long candlestick. It can be either on the upside or on the downside, it doesn't really matter as long as the difference between the opening and the closing value is more than 70% of its average volatility. So that's how we measure these long line candle. So let us now head to the JForex for the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. There is the chart for the GBP USD, and in today's session we have seen couple of very long candles, and as we plot this pattern I am expecting this line in particular and also some of these lines to be included as long line candles. So let's see if it does work out that way or not. All you have to do is a quick search and here it appears long line candle, and as I expected, it is indeed been included in this long line formation, but it has been omitted. Maybe it might not have really met its criterion, as I think here there is this long shadow on the lower side. Maybe because of that, particular candle formation has not been included. So in a sense, we also have to pay attention to the shadow of the candle, and only when the price goes on to close towards its lowest price or the highest price, the long line candle formation is confirmed. So if we see that this formation on the chart occurs quite regularly, quite frequently, whenever there is substantial move, we see this candle stick pattern being recognized on the chart. And here also you can see that whenever there is long shadow, that candle gets omitted, and only when we have this closing and opening value which is also closer to its high and the low, only those candles are included. Even if we get to see these not so long candles here in this case, so you have to consider the average volatility prevalent over recent candle periods, and then in comparison to the recent price formation, you can make an assessment if the particular long candle is long enough for warranting a trade action or not. Now it's interpretation, coming to its interpretation, and how to use it. The concept is simple. As I said, all we need is long enough difference between the opening and the closing value. But that is one part. Then you have to see how you can take advantage of the situation. And for that, you will have to see where it is happening, if it is happening at the start or if it is happening at the end of a significant price move. Now, in this case, if you see, this particular long candle happened after this price move had taken place. So it was suggesting that the existing trend is likely to persist for next couple of hours also. And in line with that projection, we saw that this further price on the lower side. So that materialized as expected. And if we go back in time to consider this instance here, in this case, we did see continuation, and on this higher side the formation continued to rise for next couple of hours. And if we again consider these moves here also, the same thing has happened. So you can use it as a continuation pattern. You can see that it is more likely to persist for next couple of hours also. So whatever the movement which we are seeing, if that movement is also being reinforced by a long line candle, in that case you have more reasons to believe in its continuity and you can take advantage of the situation. So if you were to go short after this formation, you would have indeed made decent pips in this trade. And if we look at earlier instances as well, in this case also it continued to move on the lower side. For these two candles, the formation did give us some profit making opportunities, but it didn't really happen in this case, as the reversal didn't really materialize. And if we consider this case here, it did give us good amount of money. This time it was used as a reversal formation. So if the long line candle is happening after a contra long move, so if the current long line candle is bearish but the prior move has been bullish, then in that case you can use it as a reversal formation as well. And if now here in this case we have this long line candle happening after this strong bearish move, so you can use it as a reversal formation for next couple of hours. The momentum is likely to be bullish as per the projection of the long line candle, but of course, as is the case with any candlestick formation, this is not going to be foolproof. So you always have to look at the risk and the reward, so that is something to be kept in mind also. And if we consider these prior moves here, as we saw in this instance, the price again reversed back to touch this prior low, and then it reversed. Again, we got this long line candle, and that time it did give us a good trade. It continued to rise, and then we could have used this as the continuation with this price rise continuing for quite a long period of time. So this formation can be used both as the continuation as well as the reversal. So it depends on the context where it is unfolding, where it is happening, and how strong that particular long line candle is in respect of its recent volatility. So you will have to pay attention to the prevailing volatility and then draw a comparison using that price data. So in both these cases, in the bullish as well as in the bearish formation. This can be a formation which can be relied on to initiate the trade, and you can also use it as a continuation tool. And I think you can also plan your exit strategy using this long line formation. Suppose if, for example, you see a long line candle, then for next couple of hours, or in this case, I am using next couple of hours simply because the each candle period has been defined at hourly time frame. So if we shift to a neutral stance, for next couple of candles, the momentum is likely to persist in the same direction. So if we are using it as a optimization tool, maybe we can think about going for profit booking after next couple of hours if we don't really see any further long line candle in the same direction. So you can plan it that way also. Now let us see what we can do in terms of editing. The input, there is nothing really which we can edit, so this option has been disabled on the platform. If we look at the output, you can go for a different color combination. If you are not really a fan of a blue color, maybe try this yellowish shade. Styling combination, we get these two options. You can go for bracketing, or if you like to shade the candle in color of your choice, you can do it like this, but it is looking damn too prominent on the chart. So to make it look less prominent, you can have these options of lowering the opaqueness and increasing the transparency. Suppose if I go for 70% transparency, you can see now this is the lighter shade of yellow. So it is giving us a orange looking candle. In this case, there is light green. So you can play around with this color combination and opt for the color combination which catches your fancy. So now in this case, the bullish long line candle is being denoted by this light green formation, and for the bearish long line candle, we are getting this orange shade. So this way also you can go for this customization of your candlestick pattern. Now, coming to the advanced editing options, if we recalculate on new candle only, if we opt for this option, there is not really going to make much of a difference as this particular candle formation is based on one candle period, so that is not really much of an use. Highlight the time period zone again, it is going to be based on single candle formation, so that is also not going to make much of an impact. Calculate from custom data, this has been disabled as there is not much to customize on the chart. Show indicator on all period. Now this is a useful option. If you are having multiple indicators on the different time frames, then these options becomes really useful. Suppose if you want to customize the particular candle period on which this formation should be available on the chart, in this case you can go for the hourly, or for example if you simply want to try it out, let's opt for 5 minutes and hourly candle period. So in this case we have this hourly and 5 minutes in place. Okay, but if I go to 10 minutes or for that matter any other candle period, there is no recognized long line candle formation on the chart. Let's try out 4 hours, nothing. If I go for daily, there is nothing. Okay, so that's how this system works. Now I am reverting back to hourly, so I am getting this back again. Alright, so this is how this formation works. It gives you the freedom to have it on all the candle periods or on the candle period of your choice. So if you have multiple indicators on different time frames, it is better to customize it this way, or if you are simply relying on this formation, then it is more easier for it to be available on all the candle periods whenever you change the chart's candle period. So it depends on how you are using these charting tool provided on these platform. So that's all from my side for today's session. And we saw the concept, the uses, and also the customization options of these long line candle and how we can utilize it to optimize the trading and whatever trading system you have. You can always incorporate this particular formation to better optimize your trading techniques. Maybe you can use it as a further confirmation tool for you to remain in trade for a longer period of time, and if you want to go for the initiation of the trade, that can also be initiated using this particular formation. So it is always up to you how you want to use this formation to go for the profit maximization and loss minimization, and that is the whole purpose of this webinar, also to make you familiar with these different candlestick patterns so that you can plan your trade and have the profitable system in place to take advantage of the market opportunities which keep arising from time to time. So thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous time and profitable day ahead. See you next time around with a equally interesting information to work with to see how we can use any of these formation for optimizing our trading style. So do come back next time around tomorrow at the same time. So see you tomorrow, guys. Have a fabulous day. Goodbye.